Hey, what's up everyone? There is a lot of leaked cameras coming out. There's a lot of announcements coming out right before CP Plus and a couple other events and everything just in the next week or two or just a couple weeks. That being said, I've been getting questions about a lot of these and I didn't really feel like making individuals of all these, and I like covering this type of news and everything like that, but there's like 8 things that we can cover, possibly 9, one I'm going to miss out on with all of this. So let's just break down some of the newest cameras and lenses and everything that are going to be coming out. Most are official, a couple are still leaked, but that pretty much is official. So leading off, we have the Samyang 50mm f1.2, which has been said since like 2014 they're going to come out with, but it's going to be about $1,000, and as of right now, apparently it's only going to be for the Canon EF mount. It's going to be full frame, and it's also going to be for your crop sensor, but it is a manual focus lens. A lot of people are, Rokinon, Samyang, all that type of stuff. They've been making more autofocus lenses. So next we have the Tokina 20mm F2.8 for the Sony E mount. So Sony is getting more fast glass, another fast prime, something that they've been, looking for. It'll be for full frame and for crop sensors. No idea on the price yet, but it will be available in April of 2018. So not too much longer. And Tokina has made amazing, great quality lenses for a while, and Sony's getting one of them. And one of the big ones that came out, and I didn't really want to cover this one individually as well, is the Pentax K1 Mark II. Now the Pentax K1, when that came out in 2016, it was very popular for a lot of Pentax users who were looking for something, especially going full frame. And I really did enjoy using the camera for the most part. Some of it's a little bit gimmicky, but it had a reason for what it is. Now the Mark II is coming out, it'll be about $2,000, and to me there really isn't much an improvement with it, but let's talk about it. 36.4 megapixels, full frame. One of their biggest things that they touted was their pixel shift resolution. Now they're going to have their pixel shift resolution 2, which is a little bit better, and you could get a higher quality image thing. 5-axis in-body stabilization, 4.4 frames per second, dual SD card slots, so that also didn't change. It'll have 33 phase detect points with 25 of those being cross. ISO basically from 100 to expanded 819,200. 1080p 30 frames per second, which is going to be a letdown for a lot of people. But if you do shoot interlace 1080i at 60 frames per second, 5994. So for $2,000, is it really worth like an upgrade if you want to sell your K1 to the K2? I don't think so. They really didn't put much into that, so I'm just going to keep moving on. This is a big one from Tamron. This is the Tamron 70-210 F4. Tamron's been putting out amazing glass recently, and this bad boy is supposed to apparently be under $900. It's estimated to be about $870 to $900, so keep it that. It'll be available for Canon April 26th. I'm not sure if that's shipping or I think that'll be shipping. Nikon April 2nd, so you're going to get it for your Nikon mount first. You'll have 4 stops of vibration control, so that's also pretty good. And it's also for your full frame or crop lenses. The 70-210, it's an interesting choice. The lenses have been out there, and it's a very affordable piece of kit for you, and I would just love to see the image quality, and the fact that it has vibration control for that price as well is a plus. Another thing for Tamron is also the 28-75mm f2.8 III. Now, this lens for a while, it's interesting because Canon just came out with a home run with their 24-70 2.8 version 2 with the vibration control, and that's selling very, very well for them. So I don't know why they would come out with this 28-75 again. It's such an older lens, it doesn't make sense anymore. And that also being said, it's also targeted for the Sony E mount, so I guess they're going for the more affordable option there, which I can see. But just the 28-75 lens overall just doesn't make sense universally. Maybe targeting the Sony line is a smart idea for something like that, but the old lens was very loud, clunky, but it got you an affordable way to get a 2.8 lens with a 24-70 zoom range. But Sony, you're going to be getting this lens, and hopefully it's affordable enough. I feel it should be. Tamron's been making good stuff. The last couple things we get from Canon, we're also going to hear about the Canon EOS 4000D, which is a very, very questionable camera because it's going to be the most entry-level camera I think Canon has ever made. It'll have a plastic mount, which is why. 18 megapixels, obviously a crop sensor. ISO 100 to 6400, pretty basic. A Digic 4 Plus processor, which is pretty old for them, but that's what a lot of their Rebel have in them. They're older Rebels. So 4 Plus, and the 1080p video, probably 30 frames per second. Nothing special there. This camera doesn't make sense to me. I mean, this camera should probably cost F2 or $300. No bells and whistles to it. The Canon SL2 is one of the most affordable and mind-blowing options for them, under $600, and it's a great entry-level camera for Canon. That also being said, there is 2 more announcements or 3 more announcements from Canon. One really isn't out yet, and if that is something significant, I'll update that in a pinned post down below. But then we also have the Canon 2000D or the T7. Now the T line, I absolutely think they should get rid of. It's entry level, and I get that it's more priced better, but those cameras, as you'll hear, just man, they really don't add much. But the T7, but the TI line, like the T6i, T7i, they cost just a little bit more, if by $100, $150, $200, but the quality and everything you get out of those is amazing. The T7i getting dual pixel autofocusing and everything was mind-blowing for what they finally did, putting that, especially in something like the Rebel and the SL2. So I just want to keep that in mind. So the T7, 24 megapixels, Digic 4 Plus processor, HD video, you're probably not going to get anything insane, and it's a 3-inch non-articulating screen. So just basically your T7, you know, nothing mind-blowing there. But once again, I wanted to mention the T7i, the price is more, you get that dual pixel, and you also will be coming from the T6, which is about $550 right now, and you'll be having 18 megapixels with that. So you're basically just getting a megapixel bump, and just get rid of the T line. And the last thing I have from Canon is going to be their EOS M50. It's still going to be their small M line of things, crop sensor, like your M5, your M6. 24 megapixels, crop sensor. It will have dual pixel autofocusing, which is a huge plus. Digic 8 imaging processor, one of their newest. 4K video. Still want to see what that's going to be like. Nothing. It's going to be nothing mind-blowing. 10 frames per second, 3-angle touchscreen, but it will have new technology in it. And it is their new CR3 RAW, which is basically it's a 40% smaller version of their regular RAW, and you really won't have a lot of loss with it. It's kind of like having small, medium RAW, etc. within that. But this is the first time you're seeing that in the Canon thing. So that's CR3. It's a smaller RAW. So it'll be interesting to see where all of this stands, and maybe I'll get hands-on looks of these or anything like that in the upcoming few whatevers, and we will go from there. The M50 is interesting because they've got the M6, and the M6 and the M5 are really crushing it for them right now. I'm filming this on the M6, so I guess the only big thing is the 4K video attempt that they're throwing in the M50, so I'll love to see what that will do, so we will approach that as it comes along. A lot of announcements. Which one of these are you excited about? Looks like Sony's getting some fast glass, interesting ranges, but there's a lot coming out. And if you notice, I didn't say much about Nikon because really isn't much coming out. Expect a few other things from a few other companies in the next week or two as well, and we will go from there. Thank you for watching. Let me know your favorites down below.